morning. Magandang umaga po. I'm back from the Philippines. I just went to the Philippines for about 5 weeks to take care of some urgent matters that need to be taken care of before the end of the year. And I figured if I don't leave now, I will not be leaving until maybe the time of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I figured I better leave now, take care of the things that I need to take care of, and that was done. One of the things that I did that is important, and somebody asked me a question about this, is how do you pay taxes in the Philippines? Who does the assessment and so forth and so on? I will just explain to you the experience I've had buying a condominium. When we signed the condominium papers last year, I think it was 2018, I was given like a temporary, it's not a title, but it's like a deed of sale, but temporary support that I bought the property. And then I had to wait for all the filings to be done, and that was taken care of by the condominium, by the developer. And then I got a letter or a notification that the title came in. Actually, they came in separately between the condo unit and the parking spot, because I had to buy a parking spot separately. They came separately, but the title arrived at the same time. Now, there's a lot of processing involved here that I did not get involved with. And I will put a link down below so you will see what is involved in case you want to buy your own real estate, maybe not necessarily a condominium, which means you will have to take care of these things yourself, or maybe your attorney or real estate agent. Okay? But as far as what I have been involved with, I bought the property some 3 years ago, paid in installment with 20% down payment for the next 2 years. And then when the time came that it's ready to be turned over to me, I received notification, and I went to the Philippines to sign the paperwork, to receive the key to the condominium, and to turn and to, by the way, to pay the balance of 80%. By the way, you don't have to pay that. You can do financing and all if you want to do that. But that's an entirely separate subject matter. Now, I had to wait over a year for me to get the title and the tax declaration, and because it arrived sooner than I expected, I asked my real estate agent to pick it up for me, which she did. She's very nice. She picked it up for me, and when I arrived 5 weeks ago, I got the paperwork from her, and I did notice that it had the tax declaration for the, I can't remember if it's the parking spot but not the unit, or if it's for the unit but not the parking spot. So what I did, I had to go to the developer site to obtain, first of course I have to verify that they already have it there. And they said they do, so I had to go there to pick it up. So I walked away, and it's no sweat. It only took me about 10 minutes waiting to get the paperwork done. They gave this to me, so I have the tax declaration, which is what I need to provide the city of Pasig. Now, along with this tax declaration, they gave me a tax receipt for the 2 taxes, the parking spot and the unit, that was paid for the previous year, because they want to make sure I don't get assessed again. What I'm saying is this: in 2018, after it was turned over to me, it was not titled to me yet. Therefore, the developer had to pay the taxes themselves. But I got billed for it. So I paid for it, but they took care of paying or doing the settlement with the city of Pasig. I reimbursed them for it, and because it was already paid for, I got the receipt from the developer, which I then took with me along with the tax declaration. I then went to the city hall and gave them the tax declaration. From there, they computed how much the tax liability will be. And the developer was correct. In all likelihood, it will be the same amount as what was paid the previous year, which is exactly the same amount. And by the way, they did not ask me for the prior year tax receipt. It was just given to me just in case they claim that I did not pay for the previous year. But no, the record shows that it was paid for. So I just paid for the current year being 2020, from January 1 to December 31 of 2020. That's what I paid for. And now, this is big money for the Filipinos in the Philippines because they make pesos and they pay pesos. But believe it or not, my taxes for the condominium is only 11,000 pesos, which is $220. That's a significant reduction from the $7,000 I'm paying for now. So that is very good. In fact, I was expecting to pay about $500. That's only $220. So that's the good news. And there is no bad news. The thing is, as I mentioned, I'll put down the details below regarding what is involved, what documents you need to be able to take possession of the title and such. All those were taken care of by the developer and was turned over to me. So now I own the condo. During the trip, I had an opportunity to travel to Tagaytay with my wife, and also a beautiful mall. It's called the Grand Canal Venice. It has the simulated Venice, appearance of Venice in Italy. It's beautiful, so I made it a point to be able to visit that. One place that I wanted to visit that I did not get a chance to do is Intramuros. I would like to go back there because I went to Letran, and Letran is right there in Intramuros. I wanted to visit it again. I did not have an opportunity to go there. Almost every day we were out, and there was only 2 days. We were waiting for the furniture to be delivered to us because we were furnishing and we're not done yet. We were furnishing the condo unit. So when we go back, hopefully early part of next year, hopefully that will be for good, meaning I hope to be able to sell this house we have here in the US and complete our relocation to the Philippines. And from that point on, my life will be staying in the Philippines, traveling to visit my children in Washington and in Connecticut, and no residence in Pennsylvania. And we had a good time. Now, I just want to make one comment. Oh, by the way, we also visited the Medical City, and I made a separate video about my visit to Medical City because of my concern that when we get sick, and the things that I heard is if you don't have cash right there and then, they're not going to do anything for you. Well, apparently they will accept a credit card as a security deposit, and then you can do the wire transfers that you need to get things paid before you checked out or shortly after you checked. One thing I'll mention to you is the parking spot. I was thinking of, and I'm still thinking of buying a car, but almost every single day we had to go out, we took Grab, and it is so convenient to get Grab. You just make a phone call, not a phone call, but you just do the internet thing, and you reserve a car, and in anywhere from 4 minutes to, I would say, no longer than 12 minutes, it doesn't fail except for 2 situations, okay? It comes to you, picks you up, and it's easy. During our stay, 5 weeks, and every single day we were out, we spent approximately $200 to $250 on the Grab. Okay, that means they're not cheap. Okay, but they are extremely cheap compared to the U.S. Here is one example. Our last trip was to the airport, and it was a bad time. It was not like early morning where there is no traffic. And by the way, when you get Grab, how much you pay depends on the distance and the amount of time it takes. But you will know up front how much it's going to be, and that is a locked-in price. Whether the distance gets to be longer or the travel time gets to be longer, it doesn't matter. It's a locked-in price. So I checked it in the morning, and it was like 400 pesos, 350 to 400. And then by the time we left, which is early afternoon, and that's the traffic is heavy at that time, and it was raining, I had to pay 600 pesos. Now that's a lot of money, okay? But that is only $12. In Pennsylvania, I pay $50 to get me to the airport, and the airport is only 10-15 minutes away in Pennsylvania, and that's what I pay, okay? In the Philippines, it takes, listen to this, it takes about 1 hour to travel 2 to 3 miles. We're just sitting there on traffic. Traffic is really horrendous. There were 2 days when traffic was clear, perfectly clear, and I said, I wish it's always like this. And that's during All Saints Day and All Souls Day. All the people in the Philippines are in the provinces visiting their dead relatives, and Manila was empty, literally empty. Okay, so we're driving no cars. Well, when I say no cars, maybe there's 1 or 2 or 3, and compared to the regular day when you're just stop there and inching away to get to your destination. That's why 1 to 2 miles takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. That's ridiculous. You can practically walk, and it'll be better for you to walk, except it's also not conducive because of the smog, the fumes coming from the cars. So that is one experience I had. And when I had now the other thing is there's only two instances when I had to wait, and I had second thought about not buying a car. When I was on Mega Ball, it was a payday, a Friday, and it was Mega Mall was running a sale, and a lot of people. I cannot get Grab, no response on the internet when I'm calling, no response, and I had to stay in line there for about an hour to hour and a half on a taxi lane waiting for my turn. In spite of my benefit of being a senior, that's how much time I had to spend standing there. Okay, we have priority as a senior. We go to the shortest line right away, and there are rules. Okay, I will not explain that. And the other one is this also happened to us in 2018 when we were at Shangri-La Mall. No taxi, no Grab goes to Shangri-La Mall, and I have no idea why. In 2018 it happened to us. It was a Friday. It's a Friday again when this thing happened. I don't know, but there was no sale going on, and we had to wait a long time, but we just have to be patient to do it. See, when I experienced that, I called my real estate agent and I said, why don't you go ahead and rent my parking spot? I'm not going to buy a car. Okay? I mean, before I experienced that, that's what I did. I called my agent. But after I experienced that, I said, maybe it's better to have a car. You have control over, you still have to go through the headache of heavy traffic and smog and things like that, but at least you have control. You know, when you get out of the mall, when you get out of a place, you have your car, you can drive. You may still get stuck and spend an hour on the road, but at least in case of emergencies, you have control over your destiny. So I'm having second thoughts about that. Bottom line, I haven't really decided yet. I really like the convenience of just using Grab. First of all, don't think that when I say I spent about $250 for the 5 weeks that we were there, that's not expensive, because I don't have to pay for parking. I don't have to pay for the parking spot, which of course I can rent for about $100 a month. I don't need a car. That's a lot of money. No, what do you call this? No gas expense, no insurance expense. All those are expensive. Okay, and if you think about it, using Grab, you have a driver. They come pick you up, deliver you to your destination with no hassle in finding a parking spot. So those are the trade-offs, and I'll tell you what, if I'm not only concerned about medical condition and medical services available in Manila, I would rather live outside of Manila. But I still cannot accept the fact that I will go outside of Manila, then I will have difficulty finding a doctor, or in case of emergency, getting to the hospital. I will investigate that further when I get back next year. There is a possibility, a slight possibility, that we will move towards the areas of Pampanga, Bulacan, and so forth and so on. So this thing is not cast in stone. I am very flexible. I don't know what I'm going to do with the condo. Either sell it or rent it, or it's possible that we will just stay there because I really like Manila. The view, we're on the 34th floor. The view is fantastic. I just love it. Okay, the only thing I hate is when I get down to the condo and get on the car. Commuting is really horrendous. So that's all I can share regarding our trip, and hopefully you enjoy this. And if you did, please do like, share, and do subscribe. I will really appreciate that. Make it a great day.